Eli Crew, man. It's your boy. Supreme Boy Eli, man. I'm back at y'all with another video, man. It's currently 2 in the morning, man. You feel me? 2 in the morning. Conversation got boring. Fuck time. But it's currently 2 in the morning, man. We getting these reaction videos out the way for y'all, man. Go ahead, drop a like for me for that, man. Please comment down below some videos y'all would like for me to react to. And hit that subscribe for me down below. You see that big red button down there, bro. You see that button, man. You see that button, man. Please hit that button for me, man. Without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Hey.
Ven todo este dinero que tengo aquí. Yo no lo gané robando ni siendo narco.
Y'all see react to, man, down below. There's some Narcos video content. So we're finna go ahead and see what's to it. Damn, hold on.
No siendo narco, sí.
Drug cartels are becoming pop culture brands. You can now listen to narco gangster rap while sporting El Chapo branded clothes. But this is not just random product placement. This is propaganda.
Tenemos que nos ha funcionado mucho, que es el Chapo Bros.
When we think of propaganda, the picture is usually of governments trying to brainwash their populations, particularly during war. And like any war, the use of propaganda is just as crucial in the war on drugs. Controlling the flow of information and public opinion is equally important to drug cartels as it is to actual governments. And this can work in some pretty surprising ways.
Many of them are not actually part of any drug organization. It's a narco conflict.
From inventing entire new music genres to brutally murdering journalists who report their crimes, this is how drug cartels use propaganda to cement their power.
Why am I laughing, bro? First off, my God. Where you from, bro?
And how their reach has gone global in the age of TikTok and Instagram. In April 2008, a huge banner appeared over a busy highway in Nuevo Laredo, a key drug trafficking city on the US-Mexico border. This turned out to be a recruitment poster for the ultra-violent Zetas cartel, offering men with military experience, good salaries, food, and benefits for joining their emerging criminal army.
Ya no sabemos quiénes son los buenos ni quiénes son los malos y pues no sé si fue una broma de mal gusto.
As the Mexican war on drugs intensified over the following decade, these banners, or narcomantas, became a surreal but common form of messaging all over Mexico.
Su contenido eran amenazas de igual forma en contra de las autoridades del gobierno del estado.
Cartels would use them to claim credit for murders, to mock and intimidate their rivals, or to distance themselves from massacres that had gone too far. And perhaps most importantly, many narcomantas openly accused corrupt police and government officials of actually working with competing cartels and trafficking groups.
Los Zetas used to hang narco banners to communicate their plans, their goals, and it was either to expose a local politician who was on their payroll and didn't respect the deal they had or whatever, or to threat other cartels.
As the drug war in Mexico has dragged on, however, cartels have moved with the times. Now, criminal groups spread their message less through bedsheets draped over highway bridges and more through Instagram stories and TikTok videos. Back in the 2010s, a Twitter account claiming
all these goofies, man, on TikTok, man, on Instagram, bro. All goofies, man. Stop posting all that on Instagram.
be run by El Chapo's son, Archibaldo, started posting pictures of expensive sports cars and gold-plated assault rifles. This trend has continued, with more and more Instagram and TikTok accounts claiming to be narcos showing off their wealth and power. But it's often hard to tell where real cartel social media ends and pop culture fantasy begins. Many accounts, like these featured here, put on a show of narco-mafia swag, but may well just be wannabe imitators.
So there's a whole new generation of Nacros that are using the internet to brand themselves. The thing is, this culture went so viral that many of them are not actually part of any drug organization. It's a narco conflict.
Drug traffickers using popular culture to brag about their exploits and glamorize their lifestyle is, in fact, an old tradition in Mexico. And before the age of TikTok, they went viral the old-fashioned way, by being immortalized in ballads known as narco corridos, a specifically Mexican form of songwriting which takes traditional...
Narcos corridos. What's that?
Folk music that adapts the lyrics to talk about the realities of smuggling cocaine and heroin and murdering rival cartel bosses. And although not all narco corridos are commissioned by cartels, the line between singing about crime and actual crime can often get pretty blurry.
Lo más básico es de que todo el mundo dice, oye, ¿por qué promueven la violencia? Entonces yo siempre lo tengo muy claro que, pues, que la violencia, la música no tiene nada que ver con la violencia.
A narco corrido is basically a drug ballad, a song that talks about the exploits of a top member of a criminal organization. A narco corrido singer needs the permission from a boss to write a narco corrido, a song about them. Otherwise, they could get in trouble. They could even end up being killed. The drug bosses.
That's crazy. That's crazy, bro. Imagine having to ask another dude to write a song about him, bro. What? Or another person to write, just in general, bro. Another person to write a song about them. If not, you could be killed, bro. What? That's crazy.
Usually pay good money to these narco artists.
Often, particular corrido singers become associated with specific cartel leaders, winding up as their in-house songwriters. For instance, the singer Luis Conríguez had hits with songs about Double R, the Jalisco commander known as the YouTuber, though he's denied any official link with the cartel. This leaked video of Conríguez allegedly playing in one of Double R's parties went viral. We can assume those aren't firecrackers we're hearing there. Police were then able to follow the band, eventually leading to them catching Double R, who'd eluded them for years. But just like the narco banners, times change, and a new generation of narco musicians is emerging, who draw less from traditional Mexican mariachi bands and more from American gangster rap and trap music, creating a whole new genre known as trapteño.
Oh, cabrón, que trae pistola, que andan peleando,
we be singing on that trapteño. No, let me stop playing.
O sea, quiere su canción, quiere su fama, quiere que lo recluta y entonces es donde entra ahí. ¿Sabes qué? Yo quiero que me hagan mi corrido, pero en forma rap. Me han amenazado mil veces.
Trapteño songs can become huge online sensations. When the Zetas murdered a Gulf cartel boss in 2011, this track, named Comandante Metro 3, describing the events, racked up over 3 million views on YouTube.
All right.
It's more
not trying to get copyrighted.
Than the official version.
This all raises the question, why would cartels who regularly engage in open warfare on the streets of Mexico actually care about what people think of them? The answer is that, like businesses, cartels are trying to make a profit, and that means paying attention to PR. During the COVID pandemic, several cartels undertook serious social aid programs, distributing food and toys for kids.
Outside the northern city of Juarez, children who have nothing get their food from the man in the mask. He's not from the government. He's a member of La Nueva Empresa drug cartel.
Of course, the main reason that cartels are able to occupy these positions in society is that the government itself is failing to.
They've been abandoned by the state, right, for years. A state that doesn't build any hospitals, schools, but the cartel does. The cartel paved the unpaved roads, put a school, set up a hospital, hands out money every Christmas, and of course they earn their loyalty.
But narco propaganda also has a much, much darker side. Cartels put a lot of effort into making sure that people hear the right messages about them. But they put just as much effort into making sure they don't hear the wrong ones. And they do that largely by intimidating and murdering journalists.
Tonight, more bloodshed in Mexico. Another journalist killed this week in the country.
Murdering journalists. Whoa. I ain't signing up for this, my guy. That's tough. What? Murdering journalists.
5 reporters have now been killed there less than 2 months into the new year.
Mexico is one of the deadliest countries in the world for journalists, even more so than some active war zones. In 2022, at least 13 journalists were murdered in Mexico. By comparison, at least 12 were killed in Ukraine in the midst of the Russian invasion. This is journalist Lourdes Maldonado directly addressing President López Obrador on national TV in 2019, pleading for protection.
Vengo también aquí para pedirle apoyo, ayuda y justicia laboral, porque hasta temo por mi vida.
Last January, Maldonado was murdered, the third journalist that month.
Today, just as we are protesting here in Mexico City, in Tijuana, and in Sinaloa, we learned the sad news that 2 of our colleagues were taken from their lives in Veracruz.
When they try to enter a new region, they will go after what they call like major hits, right? Community leaders, a priest, a journalist, a local politician. And that's basically to make a point of power. Either you come to our side or we're going to kill you.
Perhaps most disturbingly, it is specifically when journalists start digging into narco corruption amongst the police and local politicians that they're often most in danger.
Ser periodista en México es moverse en un campo minado, ¿no? Es que tú sepas en tu contexto con quiénes puedes hacer y qué preguntas y hasta dónde puedes llegar si quieres sobrevivir.
Propaganda in the war on drugs works in many ways. When the mainstream press recycle nonsense drug stories about rainbow fentanyl or bath salts turning people into cannibals, they're spreading the propaganda of prohibition. And when cartels inspire trap videos and TikToks or murder journalists, they're fighting the same propaganda war in their own way. And as long as the war on drugs keeps raging, the propaganda from both sides will keep hitting our screens and the blood will keep hitting our streets.
We'd like to congratulate drugs.
True, man. That is true, man. The war on drugs is affecting the blood on the streets, man. That's facts. If y'all like this type of content, though, man, go ahead and make sure to drop a like for me, man. Comment down some videos y'all want to react to, man. I ain't gonna lie, this video was funny as hell, but at the same time, it's serious, man. The war on drugs, man. Please don't be doing drugs. Crazy hard drugs, man. Without further ado, drop a like, drop a comment, hit that sub. We out, Eli Crew.